Hello guys, and that's a great start. Hello guys. Now, you might be wondering why, if you look at the title and then look at the massive smile on my face, you might be wondering what the correlation is there. And I've always wanted to dip my hands into the news and reviewing scene, so this will be my first crack at it. Let me know what you think about that for a start. But I feel like this is really easy to talk about and a great place for a noob, but I wanted to talk about why Fallout 76 failing is like the best thing that's happened to the game industry for the longest time. Star Wars Battlefront 2 failing was pretty good. It was a good start, but it set in motion what needs to happen here. Because I've been worried for the past like 3 to 4 years now where the game industry's going. We've had a couple gems, but it's been like 90% disappointment. And I just think this needs to happen. Whether the Titans fall or not, we need a lot of things to change. We need a lot more control back in the hands of the game designers, because that's where it matters. They're the ones making games. There is so much power and influence via just money that's being pumped into these studios that just, it's so fucking ridiculous. Because the one thing I missed, the one thing that the one thing that makes gaming so bloody good is, I remember when I was younger in the PS2 days, and I'm not old, I am old, but I'm not trying to do like a back in my day situation, because that's not even that long ago, right? But I miss being able to go into a game shop, a gaming store, whatever country you're from, you know, a place where you buy the video games, and I miss being able to look at the wall of games. That's like just the wall of games, so many things you've never heard of, just random fucking games. You've never seen any of these before. And like Lost Odyssey, have any of you ever played that? One of the best RPG games I've ever played in my entire life. I bet maybe 5 of you have heard of that game. It is incredible. And I never would have picked that up if you just don't go in there and you go like, yeah, that looks alright, fuck it. And it's, you know, it's like, it's half price. It's in the pre-owned section. I missed that section, by the way. That's where you get most of your gems, the pre-owned section. And it's like, oh, it's a tenner. 14, 15 bucks. Whatever. But you're like, oh, whatever. And you take it up, you buy it, and you get home and you experience something you would have never experienced if that option wasn't there to you. But now we only have like the same 6 or 7 IPs that are getting worse. And it's because they're forced to make them. Like there's so much risk involved now with making a kind of a side game, a game that's just taking a risk. But that's where all the biggest and best things happen. Like Call of Cthulhu is my game of the year. Hands down. There's no competition there, but that's because I like it. You know what I mean? It's a game that has its fans. It's not made for everyone, and that's what makes it great. It's like, you could ask most people, they'll probably say Call of Cthulhu was garbage. They're not into it. That's fine. Not everyone has to be into it, and that's the most important thing. Like Dark Souls. Dark Souls has one of the like most beloved fan bases in the world, but Dark Souls isn't for everyone. But it's so niche and loved by so many, and that's another reason. If I'll quickly dip into the Diablo Immortal fiasco, I was going to cover that because Diablo Immortal means, well, not Diablo Immortal specifically, but Diablo means a lot to me. I love that game. It's probably one of the best games I've played in my life. It's probably the one that I've played the most in my life. And they just, I don't know, just every move they could have done wrong, they did wrong. Like almost a cascading effect of everything wrong that could have happened. And it's because Diablo has its audience. You know what I mean? It's like, you don't turn, like, you know what, I was just about to say, you don't turn Mario into a Tetris clone. And then I remembered we had Dr. Mario. Shit. But like, you don't turn Sonic the Hedgehog into a beat 'em up. You don't turn like Tekken into a kart racer. You don't. It's not gonna work. It's just, imagine if Dark Souls was a kart racer. Like, imagine the response. Unbelievable. I don't have any footage, by the way, of Fallout 76. I'm going to clear this up right now. I don't have any footage of Fallout 76 because I haven't got the game. 1, because I don't have the money. I just flat out don't. But 2, because I don't like Fallout. I'm going to clarify my bias right now. Hang on. I'm actually going to show you my hours. My time with Fallout. I've never liked Fallout. So I suppose that makes this easy for me. There you go. I've never played Fallout New Vegas, and I bought that 6 years ago. Fallout 3 I've played for 6 hours. I've made it out of the vault maybe 6 or 7 times. I just can't bring myself to play more of it. Fallout 4 I've played for 13 hours, and that was for a Let's Play, and I scrapped it. I deleted all the videos for it. I don't know. The game wasn't for me. And like I said, this is the most important theme I want to put behind this video is like... Just stop. Stop forcing these games that no one wants. People wanted a Fallout experience. I would have bought it if it was this. I think I had a sneaking suspicion from the moment I saw it that it just wasn't going to be that. I was keen. I was looking at it and I was like, that could be interesting. Because like people wanted a Fallout game with co-op. They didn't want MMO. They didn't want like, well, I know it's not an MMO, but they didn't want that. They didn't want what you did. You basically, you made a multiplayer game in the Fallout universe when people wanted multiplayer. Like people wanted multiplayer in the Fallout universe. Does that make any sense? You put the multiplayer first. That was the core concept, and that's not what people wanted. People wanted a Fallout game that was multiplayer. I've buggered this. I just can't believe it. I just believed that this is a wake-up call that was really, really needed. Because with the mass layoffs that are happening at Blizzard, and hopefully, I don't want Bethesda to go away. I want to make that clear. I really do adore anyone that goes into work making games. I don't like shitting on people that make games. What I'm trying to shit on is the fucking publishers and the investors that fuck up creativity. It's just poison. It is toxic. Whenever you try to force someone to be creative, it can kill someone. That's a bit extreme. That's a bit extreme. But you know what I mean? It can stress you out to the point where you can become ill. I just think that this is a massive wake-up call. And it's going to be a real shame if it takes Bethesda with it. There needs to be a serious redesign of how investors work with dev teams. Because this is not it. So far you're pumping out loads of shit that people don't want, that's really expensive, and it's costing the developers their jobs. And just the whole pyramid. That's a circle. The whole pyramid circle. The whole circle of how this works is just a fucking failure. I just really want it to be how it was, you know? It wasn't overhyped, it wasn't over-advertised, it wasn't overpraised. A game could fall out onto the shelf that you've just never even heard of. And it could have been a fucking masterpiece. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. I ain't even played it, but I took one look at it and I thought that was the best looking thing that came out that year. It was so, like, the trailer was compelling, the amount of effort that was clearly put into it. Just don't... I don't know, man. It's a sad thing, but Fallout 76 failing is the best thing that has happened for gaming this year, without a doubt. Because Red Dead Redemption's come out, and it's got... I don't know, it's annoying as well, because it's pushed Red Dead out of the limelight. I haven't even played Red Dead. I haven't played Red Dead 2. Like, I don't even have to. I know from everyone that's played it, they said it's great. But it's been pushed out the way by all these fucking failures, and we shouldn't have to focus on these failures. Everything should just be flowing. You know what I mean? The good gets praise, but no, it's like... And as for anyone who's hoping that Fallout 76 gets better as it goes on, hopefully it fucking dies. Hopefully it doesn't get better. Because until they build a new engine and have a real good crack at it, with passion behind it, it doesn't deserve to be good. It hasn't earned the right to be good. Because where it stands, they don't have the right, like, initiative behind it. They don't want to make a game They want to make money. If I wanted to do like one big quote, it would be like, gaming is an art. Because it is an art. You know what I mean? You got your graphic designers, your coders, just the amount of work that goes into it just doesn't deserve to be molested by these money-hungry fucking pigs that just like, yeah, we'll fucking bleed them dry, boys. Whatever. I've ranted on long enough. For a first kind of dip into covering news, I feel like I'm going to have a very niche response, because I have really kind of passionate but also very skewered views on things. Everyone, most people are either like, reviewers are meant to be really level-headed and kind of know what they're on about, but like, you know, I feel it's just not going to be that way for me, because there's, like with Call of Cthulhu, there are things I will slap a 10 on just for being imaginative, and there are things I'll slap a 1 on even if it's probably pretty good. That's probably the most important thing about reviewing something, though, isn't it? Like, it's my 2 cents, if you will. You know, I'm just dipping my little bit in. You don't have to even care, really. It's probably the problem with the internet. I can rant on about everything. If you wanna hear me talk about some other news or what I think about some other shit, let me know, and I will absolutely. I would love to have a stab at it, because it's just content, innit? Thanks for watching, guys. Stay classy.